Welcome to Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, the following is Arena, and here are the point system. For a knockout, 15 points. Submission, 6 points. Pinfall, 5 points. DQ or count out, 1 point. And if it goes to sudden death, you get 3 counts the whole match. And let's get the show started with the men's tournament. The first entrant in Arena, Tommaso Ciampa. Well, entering first in Arena actually is a better predicament to be in, more chances for points. Let's see if Ciampa can take advantage of that for his team, the $1 Million Foundation. Oh man, and entrant number 2 in Arena, JJ Justice. Well, I know he interviewed for the Seekers of Justice. I don't know how that went exactly. JJ Justice win that trophy here tonight. We got the first place trophy and the second place trophy. And the first place trophy guarantees you a world championship match at one last breath. And here we go, the only one of 2 opening match bells the whole show unless we go to sudden death. Ciampa already with that knee. He tripped JJ Justice and hit that knee, but only a 2 count. And if this was sudden death, that 2 count, you would only get 1 more count with your shoulders on the mat before losing. Ciampa in the air, off the back of JJ Justice, throws him in the corner, and in the corner with a knee. Ciampa's knee meets JJ Justice's jaw. JJ Justice propping Ciampa up on the top rope, and what a chop. And a chop to the chest, forearms on the top rope. And a fall-away slam by JJ Justice off the second rope. Going for the kill early, both men. Justice has got a chokehold on Ciampa, picking him up in the air. Going to throw his head first into the mat, but Ciampa lands on his feet, goes for the knee and misses. And a boot by JJ Justice wipes out Tommaso Ciampa. Only a 1 count. Flying uppercut by Tommaso Ciampa, stomping down on JJ Justice, hammering down on the head. Justice throws him off. And Justice picking up Ciampa and throwing him sideways, rib first into the post. And trying to bend him in half across that top turnbuckle. The referee telling him to get back in the ring. Off the ropes, Ciampa trips him into that bottom turnbuckle and a knee to the back of the head while his head was trapped on that bottom turnbuckle. And another knee by Ciampa. Ciampa with the upper hand. But JJ Justice now has Ciampa, throws him headfirst in that top turnbuckle post, showing you how fast the momentum can change hands between competitors. 2 huge leg drops by JJ Justice. Tommaso Ciampa with the snapmare. Drop kick to the back of the head of JJ Justice. Rolls through, picking JJ Justice up. Props him between the bottom and top rope and drops him. It's with a Tower of London type maneuver. Going for the pin. And a 2 count. JJ Justice kicks out. You're already getting a 2 though in this. gauntlet. You still got a lot more to go. Justice choke slam. Got Tommaso Ciampa up by his throat. And slams him down to the mat. He might have choked him out before dropping him. And he's not done. Throwing him into the corner. Trips him into the middle rope. JJ Justice flying in with a boot to the back of the head. And going to the top rope. Drop kick by JJ Justice off the top rope. A near 7-footer. Also Ciampa with a chop and a forearm to the back of the head by Justice. Back suplex. Ciampa holding on. JJ Justice was going to drive him face first. Ciampa goes for a drop kick but misses. But that time gets a drop kick. A flip drop kick. And Justice gets picked up off the back of Ciampa. Going for the Dragon Sleeper. Dragon Sleeper locked in. Center of the ring. So it'll be 6 points for Justice if he can tap out Tommaso. But Tommaso counters out. Picks Justice up. Brain Buster by Tommaso Ciampa. Going for the 5 points here. Justice kicks out at 2. Maybe that strategy by JJ Justice, keeping his shoulders on the mat for a 2 for more rest. Having to go through this whole gauntlet is going to be exhausting. Justice putting Tommaso Ciampa on the top rope. Big shot to the back of the head of Tommaso Ciampa. Justice, what a back suplex, winding him up and sending him all the way across the ring. But Tommaso Ciampa fires back with a knee to the head. And he runs right into a forearm by Justice. Justice suplex. Ciampa escapes. And a chop block by Tommaso. And another chop block to the back of the left knee of Justice. Picks him up. Justice escapes. Ciampa going for another brain buster across the knee. Like right between the shoulder blades with that one. Drop kick to the head. And now going for the Boston Crab. Tommaso Ciampa's got it locked in. Look at that foot on the back of the head. The wrist. Ciampa's got that locked in good and tight, but JJ Justice close to the rope and he gets the middle rope. Ciampa up to the top, comes back to a boot. Ciampa eats the boot and then gets dominated into the corner. Justice, what a boot, sending Ciampa off the top rope. Face first, landing in the center of the ring, and a cutter by Justice. Giant cutter. Ciampa slowly getting up, and a lariat waiting for him, but it turns Ciampa inside out, and Ciampa with the arms. He's got JJ Justice's arms butterflied. Justice trying to power out, but Ciampa's got him up, and Justice able to power out, reverse, and a big knee. Kick to the gut, and when Tommaso Ciampa went down from the kick to the gut, he ran into the knee of Justice. And I think Ciampa's out. Justice picking up Tommaso Ciampa. The referee telling him he's out. That's a knockout win for Justice. 15 points on the board in the first match. Who can beat that? Justice now has to contend with Jamal. But a great lead. Jamal needs a knockout win or to beat multiple opponents. That's a good spot to be in if you're JJ Justice. And staring at each other from across the ring, the $1 Million Foundation's Jamal who kicked out the last leader of the $1 Million Foundation, the first recruit, JJ Justice. All the original members of the $1 Million Foundation are out. Justice, Stephanie, Shane McMahon. Justice looking to take it out on Jamal. Jamal gets out of the German suplex attempt. Elbows, sending JJ Justice into the corner, and then smashing elbow, and then throwing him to the center of the ring. Justice with a cutter. Firing back with a cutter. Picking up Jamal. Oh my God, is he going for a tombstone pile driver? Got him in position, and yes, tombstone pile driver, center of the ring. Jamal kicks out at 1. I cannot believe Jamal just kicked out of a tombstone pile driver at 1. JJ Justice has him in the suplex position. And oh man, a jackhammer. Have not seen a jackhammer in quite some time. Then jumps to the top rope and a leg drop. You've only seen Goldberg once on Desolation. And Jamal back in the fight. What a throw to Justice, and then a spiral splash. Big shot to JJ Justice. Headbutts. Justice gets out of that attack. But another spiral splash by Jamal, and he lands on his feet, and then dropping the headbutt. Jamal has the upper hand now, slamming Justice on that top rope. Shots to the chest. What does he have in mind now? Keeping him on that top rope. Now climbing up with him while beating him down. And he's standing on him on the top rope. Jamal with a moonsault to JJ Justice on that top rope. On the turnbuckle. And they go flying back into the ring. JJ Justice in the corner. Jamal's got him up. Uranagi. Or bear hug. Looks like he's got a bear hug locked in. Going for the submission on Justice. Justice taps out in the bear hug. Jamal with the belly to belly, and Jamal wins via submission. But he still needs a lot of points. Justice put a lot of points on the board. And Tajiri is next. Good luck, Jamal. Undefeated since coming to Desolation. The man with the lethal strikes. And don't get caught in the ropes with Tajiri, or he'll put you in the tarantula. Tajiri going for a kick. Jamal avoids it. Jamal throwing Tajiri into the corner. Big shots by Jamal. Jamal's got Tajiri up. Tajiri escapes, kicks to the back of the leg, avoids the shot by Jamal, jumps on the back of Jamal, and Jamal throws him off of him. And a big elbow drop by Jamal. And a splash in the middle rope to Tajiri. Goes for a shot to Tajiri on the apron. Tajiri avoids it. Gets his legs wrapped around the head of Jamal and flips him back into the center of the ring. Tajiri winds Jamal up with a neck breaker and lifts Jamal up. What strength by the Japanese buzzsaw, and sends Jamal hard back down to the mat. Then kicks to the head by Tajiri. Jamal up on the apron on the other side of the ring. Tajiri with a mule kick, sending Jamal into the barricade right in front of the trophy. And Tajiri dives on top of him. Crossbody out of the ring on top of Jamal. And Tajiri with a moonsault off the barricade. Hits his target, picks up Jamal, and Jamal rams him into the apron. Jamal throwing Tajiri back into the ring. Tajiri going for another mule kick. Jamal avoids it that time. Jamal throwing Tajiri back into the ring onto the turnbuckle and slamming him head first into the top turnbuckle post over and over. Tajiri, though, going for the tarantula. Jamal reverses it. German suplex. Tajiri lands on his feet and kicks Jamal back into the ring. What a kick. And then face first. No, he sends Jamal into the ropes and then a monkey flip. Tajiri relentless with his assault. Jamal throws him off and then a big attack by Jamal. Sending Tajiri down to the mat. Hammering down. And an arm drag by Tajiri. Tajiri is the Japanese buzzsaw, but Jamal, he just needs one or two heavy shots. Like that, a headbutt as he drags Tajiri off the top rope, hits the ropes. Moonsault, standing moonsault by Jamal. Jamal springing off the bottom rope, backsplash to Tajiri. Feeling him out onto the barricade back first. Tajiri's got to be done. Jamal got sent out onto the barricade. He at least had his hands and arms to be there to protect him. Tajiri lands so awkwardly, but he looks at that trophy and he is not done. Handstand springboard, arm drag, but Jamal too powerful. He holds on and goes to the top rope, holding on to Tajiri. Flipping back into the ring off the top rope, lands on his feet. And he still has Tajiri in his arms. Tajiri escapes and trips Jamal into the corner. Tajiri flying missile drop kick. Goes for the head kick. Jamal avoids it. And throwing Tajiri to the mat. Full Nelson. Bomb up to the middle rope. Leg drop off the middle rope. Crushing the larynx of Tajiri. And a pinfall win. He's up to 11, but he's got to beat the Hurricane. Hurricane's got to knock out Jamal. Or play spoiler. He is the last man in this gauntlet match. Will it be JJ Justice, Jamal, or Hurricane? But Hurricane has to knock out Jamal. Good luck. But going right into the fire. Here we go, last match. For the men's side, Hurricane tries to roll up Jamal, but Jamal picks him up. Hurricane flips out. Goes for the Pele, but Jamal catches him and slams him into the corner. And traps his leg on the top turnbuckle post. Hurricane caught up in the Tree of Woe, and Jamal standing on the head of Hurricane. Jamal goes for a backsplash in the corner. Hurricane out of the way. Hurricane cartwheeling off the top rope and a kick to Jamal on the apron. Pulling Jamal back into the ring. Super kick by Hurricane. Drops Jamal. Goes for the arm drag. Jamal holds his ground. Throws Hurricane into the ropes. Hurricane between the ropes out onto the apron. Jamal misses the shot to Hurricane on the apron. And Hurricane off the top rope. Hurricane Rana. Sending Jamal out again in front of that trophy. That's the second time he's hit rib first into that barricade. Hurricane says, why not? And a huge suicida over the top rope. Taking out Jamal. Sending him back into the ring. Cross body off the top rope. And posing. Hurricane picking up Jamal. Suplex. And he's got him up. I didn't know if he could pick Jamal up, but Hurricane hoists up the big man. Springs off the middle rope with a missile drop kick. Hurricane Goes for the arm drag again. Over on the shoulder. Around the back, but Jamal counters. Gorilla press slamming him. And drops him. And a moonsault, standing moonsault by Jamal. And a back suplex to the Hurricane by Jamal. Jamal picking up Hurricane. And onto the knee. Gorilla press slamming him back first onto his knee. And then a Bill into a neck breaker. Well, maybe he's got other ideas and puts him on the top rope. Leg drop. Sends Hurricane flying and crashing to the mat. Hurricane avoids the clothesline, springing off the rope, goes for a headbutt, but meets Jamal's forearm. Jamal going for the Gonzo bomb. Hurricane out of it, but a big enziguri by Jamal. Hurricane springing off the bottom rope, missile headbutt. Jamal flips Hurricane inside out. Hurricane rolls up Jamal. Jamal with a back splash onto the back of Hurricane, squashing him. And big shots to the midsection, pummeling him in the corner. Poses to the crowd. Hurricane Rana. Jamal picking him back up. Hurricane on the shoulders. Reverse Rana. Nails Jamal center of the ring. Jamal back body drops Hurricane. And then a headbutt. Another one. Elbow drop by Jamal. Hurricane, though, still moving. Jamal's gas tank, I think, ran out. And Hurricane goes for the missile drop kick. Jamal catches him. Hurricane grabs the head. Sliced bread, nails him. Hurricane stomp to the chest. And feet around the head and the big twist by the Hurricane. To the neck of Jamal, kicks him into the ropes, and a monkey flip, taking notes from Tajiri in that last match, up to the top rope, skinning the cat, and a leg drop to the back of the head to Jamal off the top rope. Jamal goes for a big shot, Hurricane avoids it. Hurricane looking for the vertebraker, he's got him up, but Jamal off the back. Big shots to the back of Hurricane and throws him shoulder first into the post. Jamal out onto the apron, squashes Hurricane between him and the post. Back into the ring. Hurricane, what a lariat by Jamal, sending Hurricane inside out. Jamal choking Hurricane. Hurricane trying to get the crowd back into this match. Big elbow by Jamal. And a leg drop across the throat of Hurricane by Jamal. And a lariat to the back of Hurricane, but Hurricane lands on the back of Jamal on his head. Hurricane Rana by Hurricane. And a big uppercut by Jamal just as Hurricane was trying to get back into this match. Jamal drops down with a headbutt. And he's got him in a headlock, head first, sending the Hurricane into that top turnbuckle post. In a horrific way. Big clotheslines in the corner, big elbow. Jamal pummeling the Hurricane. And then a butterfly suplex. Springing off the middle rope with a leg drop. And this is looking all Jamal. Flipping the Hurricane back to his feet, picking him up. Fall away slam into the top turnbuckle. Pulling him back to the center of the ring. Forearms to the head of the Hurricane. Back suplex. My God, jumping on that Hurricane, bouncing off the mat. Jamal gets a kick by the Hurricane to his head. Sending him back to the corner. He comes back to another head kick by Hurricane. And into the arms of Hurricane. Hurricane drops him. Reverse Scorpion Death Drop, springing off the second rope. DDT tornado style. Hurricane up to the top. And Jamal comes flying in with a kick to the back of the head of Hurricane, sending him flying back to the mat. Jamal throws him up. Samoan drop. And he's not done yet. Another Samoan drop. My God, and he nails it. And he's not done. I think the Hurricane's done, though. Jamal going to the top rope. And Justice causing the DQ on Jamal. And he just won himself the tournament. What a genius move by JJ Justice. And shoved JJ Justice away. I don't know if Hurricane would have won, but Justice just took away his opportunity very selfishly. For a man who says he wants to be in the Seekers of Justice, he just shit on Hurricane's opportunity to make sure he left tonight with that trophy and the title opportunity. This is Ted DiBiase's arena. This is his show, and JJ Justice is holding his trophy, and his guy gets the second place trophy. Jamal goes to attack Justice, but Justice out of the ring with his trophy. Man, I can't believe it went down like that. Can you believe that prick? Insane, man. But listen, I always got your back, Hurricane. I know that we've had some crappy people come into the Seekers, but that is behind us, because I think coming out of all this, we're a better judge of character. We've got to be, man. This has been humiliating for us. Tonight was humiliating. What's up, Molly? Listen, guys, I know that we've been, like you said, humiliated many times. Yeah. But I've got something for the Seekers. And I know. But we can't be negative just because of what has happened to us. We've got to stay positive, and we still got to see the good in people. Well, I've seen the best in this person, and I've seen the worst. And I know that this woman right here is going to have my back and have the Seekers' back. Molly, what are you talking about? I'm talking about Nikki A.S.H. What's up, guys? Listen, hold on. Nikki A.S.H., Nikki Cross, Sister Abigail, you have so many split personalities. How do you expect us to trust you? I don't. I haven't earned anybody's trust. All I want to do is help. Listen, she's been through a lot. I've been held down, and I've been put with people that I don't trust. And I've had to make the best out of the situation. And when I got out of those situations, well, I got put in other situations, and I don't always agree with them, but I make the best of situations, just like you, just like Hurricane, and my friend Molly Holly. What are you doing here, Justice, guys? No, get out of here, man. What was up with that out there? I know it doesn't sound like it, but I really was doing it for you, Hurricane. You were doing it for me. That is such a joke. Like I said, I want to be in the Seekers, and I didn't think that you could beat Jamal, and I don't mean that with any offense. Give me that. You think that the Seekers is this? Like we're some superhero clown show? Nikki, you take this. It suits her better. He hasn't earned it, but I trust her a whole lot more than you. I'm going to change that, Seekers. Whack job. And now it is time for the Women's Arena Gauntlet. Introducing first, Chelsea Green. And the wrestler that drew number 2 is Julia. And here we go, the bell sounds and we are underway. Julia, Chelsea Green. And Chelsea Green out of the ring. Come on. And Julia goes for a crossbody. Chelsea Green back in the ring, but Julia stays in the ring, goes for the arm drag. Chelsea Green lands on her feet. Chelsea gets sent to the other side of the ring, tries to escape again. Julia pulls her back, kick to the gut. And going for the armbar. Submission, rolls her up. Picks her up on her shoulder and slams her down on her knee. And a big kick to the head while she was on her knee. Rushes in with that elbow. And Julia with the arm, wrenching it on her shoulder, picking Chelsea Green up by her arm. Chelsea Green with a big shot and an elbow to get out of that, and a knee to Julia while she's down. Picking Julia up, back suplex into her knee. And Chelsea Green grabbing the wrist and neck breaker, and a leg drop by Chelsea Green. Fully out of the headlock. Chelsea Green around and an angle slam. Olympic slam by Chelsea Green on the back of Julia. Julia underneath, goes for a German suplex. Chelsea Green fights out of it. And Chelsea picking Julia up on her shoulders, slams her on that top turnbuckle. And she's standing on the middle rope, back suplex to Julia off the top rope. Back down to the ring. Chelsea Green in control. And an atomic drop by Chelsea. Big chop to Julia. Sends her into the rope and then trips her before she can come back. Rolling on top of Julia. Big shots to the head. Julia fights out. Picks Chelsea Green up and throws her behind her. Chelsea goes for the clothesline. Julia turns it into a Pele kick and rolls up. Chelsea's got both legs underneath the bottom rope, but Chelsea pulls Julia out onto the apron, and she's out on the other side and pulling her arm, her shoulder into that top turnbuckle post. Off the top rope, elbow to the apron. Julia out of the way and then drop kicks Chelsea Green behind that barricade and pulling Chelsea Green back into the ring. And Julia in control. Chelsea reverses, kick to the gut. Julia throws the kick away. German suplexing her on the back of her head. Bridging pin. Chelsea out at 2. Uppercut sending Julia into the corner and then rushes in with a knee. Springing off the middle rope. Drop kick to Julia. Chelsea out on the apron on the other side. Up to the top rope. And a clothesline to Julia back into the ring. What a match. And this is just the opening of the women's. Chelsea gets sent inside out. Lands on her feet. And then Julia with a German suplex, sending her inside out, landing on her face. Shining Wizard by Julia. Goes for the clothesline. Chelsea Green ducks it. Rolls Julia up. And then flips on top of her, but Julia reverses it, picking Chelsea Green up. Chelsea reverses it, turning Julia inside out with the pin. What technique by both competitors. Chelsea getting the best of it. Julia flying in with a knee. Nails Chelsea. Picks her up. Striking Viper, center of the ring. And Julia will get the pin here. And who will be her next opponent in Arena? It's the CEO. Going right after Julia, but Julia with that kick to the head of Mercedes as she flies in. Tope Suicida on top of Mercedes. Tilt-a-World head scissoring Julia between the ropes. Julia around the post gets kicked by Mercedes. Mercedes pulls her back in, and she's got her in the crossface after the backstabber. Julia, center of the ring, as she caught. She rolls through, rolls back, pins Mercedes. But Mercedes' shoulders weren't down. Mercedes kicking out before Julia can get her shoulders down to the mat. Kick to the head by Julia, picking Mercedes up. Mercedes rolls through, out onto the apron. Julia mule kick. Mercedes avoids it. Mercedes goes for the cartwheel back into the ring, but Julia with that kick, breaking her grip, and then Tope back in, up to the top rope, floating bro. And Julia in control right now, picking Mercedes up, slamming her onto her knee, and then a drop kick to a seated Mercedes. Floats over, goes for the head kick. Mercedes avoids it, kicks Julia back into the corner. On the other side of the ring, a Meteora. Mercedes taking out Julia and throwing her away. Frog splash, but Julia avoids it. Mercedes frog splashes the mat. Julia floats over while picking Mercedes up, and a burning hammer to Mercedes back down. And then up to the top rope, but gets caught. Whisper in the wind, but she gets drop toe hold in mid-air. And then the STF locked in. Julia getting to the ropes. Mercedes trying to change direction, but Julia able to get out. Goes for a kick to the head. Mercedes avoids it, picking Julia up on her shoulders. And Mercedes onto the knee. The back of Julia slammed down to the knee of Mercedes, but Julia rolls through, and Julia with the crossface on Mercedes, center of the ring. Mercedes quickly out of it. She's the master of that move. She's got to have good defense. Drop kick by Julia, misses it. Mercedes monkey flips Julia, but she lands on her feet. Julia arm drag to Mercedes, but she spirals out and lands on her feet. But Julia gets the STF locked in. And into the cattle mutilation. Oh man, Mercedes struggles to get out, but gets her feet underneath the bottom rope. And Julia slamming her down to the center of the ring by her arm. Mercedes able to escape out onto the apron. Mercedes back in. Code Red. Bouncing off the mat. Through the ropes. Kicking Julia in the head. Mercedes springing off the middle rope. Arm drag to Julia. Mercedes circles Julia and a drop kick to the head. Mercedes goes for a back suplex perhaps, but Julia elbows her way out, and then a kick to the head, roundhouse kick. Thought she was going for a Russian leg sweep, but rolls through. Mercedes catches her. Moneymaker, but Julia rolls through, able to counter out. With the Anaconda Vice, Mercedes able to get out of that. Goes for that kick. Julia throws her back into the ring, and then a moonsault springing off the middle rope. Off the back of Mercedes. Around the waist. And nice pin there. All of her weight stacking Mercedes up. Mercedes kicks out right at 2. Julia springs up to the top rope, cross body onto the top rope on the other side. Goes for it again. Mercedes avoids it. Goes for the head kick. Mercedes avoids it. Mercedes floating around Julia. Hurricane Rana. But Julia holds on to her and power bombs Mercedes. Pulls her back in. Julia dominating Mercedes. Last ride by Julia. Julia handstand springboard into the back elbow. Has the back of Mercedes and a German suplex sending Mercedes inside out and a boot to the face. Leapfrogging Mercedes, tries to trip her up, goes for the drop kick, but Mercedes holds on to the ropes. And Mercedes up to the top rope. Julia meets her. Mercedes gets picked up. Electric chair off the middle rope. Mercedes counters. Sunset flip, driving Julia down. Julia trips the legs of Mercedes and has her up. Striking Viper. Mercedes counters with a roll up. Rolls back. Picks her up for the Moneymaker. And nails it head first down to the center of the ring. And Mercedes wants the submission. Crossface locked in after hitting her in the face to lock it in. And Julia gets submitted by Mercedes. 6 points on the board for Mercedes. And who's next? Only 2 left. Will it be Stephanie Vaquer or Beth Phoenix? It's Stephanie. La Primera is here at Arena. Can she take out the CEO? I think so, after that hellacious match by Julia and Mercedes, where Julia dominated most of the match. And here we go, no rest for Mercedes. Stephanie Vaquer went for that Tiger feint kick, but Mercedes avoids it. Up on the back of Stephanie. Stephanie shrugs her off and angles around the head of Mercedes. Sends her head first down to the mat. Devil's kiss. Over and over, drilling Mercedes head first. Rolling through with the cover. Mercedes kicks out. Goes for a head kick. Mercedes with the arm drag. And the cross face. Stephanie avoids it. Tiger feint kick. Nails it. Frog splash. Nails Stephanie. Mercedes not done yet. Stephanie avoids the clothesline. Mercedes with the elbow. Mercedes Russian leg sweep. Bringing Stephanie back down to the center of the ring. Headshot. Stephanie shrugs her off. Japanese arm drag. Mercedes lands on her feet. Hits the ropes over the back of Stephanie. And then Stephanie with a big knee to the gut. Kitchen sink style. But without creating separation. Trying to stay on Mercedes. Not giving her any room to breathe. Just trapping her down to the mat. Leapfrogging Mercedes. And then rolls back, tripping her up. double spiral splash back in with the pin. Not even a 2 count. Stephanie on the apron. Springing to the middle rope. Drop kick to Mercedes. Arm drag to Mercedes. She lands on her feet. Hits the ropes. Stephanie tries to trip her up. And then goes for the leapfrog. And Stephanie gets tripped up by Mercedes. Mercedes going for the crucifix, but Stephanie able to avoid it. German suplex, sending Mercedes inside out. Rolls her over and a back splash to Mercedes. Stephanie rolls through, suplex. Brainbuster, center of the ring. Stephanie stomp to the midsection. Double stomp and then a stomp and then kicks her out of the ring. And flying over the top rope, taking out Mercedes. Throwing her back onto the apron. And Stephanie springing in. Face buster down to the mat. Picking Mercedes back up, slamming her onto her knee, full Nelson backbreaker, drop kick. Flips her through, Tiger feint kick to the back of Mercedes. And then Meteora by Stephanie. Circles Mercedes, picking her up, back suplex. My God, winding her up. Big time for that back suplex up to the top rope. And gets caught. Oh, man. Crucifix driver taking Stephanie off the top rope down to the mat hard. Stephanie might be done after that. Mercedes looking for the Three Amigos. Going for the second one, but Stephanie off the back, throwing Mercedes away. Mercedes comes back with an enziguri. Around the waist of Stephanie. Stephanie throws her away and then a knee to the head. Rolls through up to the top rope and she nails the spiral tap. And Stephanie back here with a 3 count. Mercedes could not take any more. Stephanie puts 5 on the board and she has to go against Beth Phoenix. And she's got to beat her. Beth Phoenix has to knock out Stephanie Vacker or go to sudden death with Mercedes if she gets a submission win. But if she only gets a pinfall win, DQ or count. Stephanie Vacker spiral splash taking out Beth Phoenix. And then a flip. Back flip DDT sending Beth Phoenix head first into the barricade. And pointing at the trophy. Stephanie, if she beats Beth Phoenix in any way other than count out her DQ, then she takes home the first place trophy. Drop kick to Beth Phoenix. The last match of the night if we don't go to sudden death. Stephanie up on the shoulder of Beth. Beth sends her into the corner. Flipping her around, Dominator sending her back into the corner. Headbutts by Beth Phoenix. And a butterfly suplex off the middle rope, knee to the back. And another knee to the back. And Beth gets kicked in the head though. Stephanie caught her sleeping. Angles around the head, Devil's Kiss. But around the back and a code red to Beth Phoenix. Beth, you gotta strike and move. If you try to hit a move like this, then Beth might do this, pummel you down and not let you hit that move. Stephanie's gotta strike and move, or she's gonna get pummeled like that with a body slam. Stephanie tries to roll through Beth Phoenix, but she's too powerful and German suplexes her back into the corner. Shoulder block, spearing her in the corner. Throws her down to the center of the ring on the second rope and a boot off the middle rope. Going for the submission, butterfly submission. And this could do it. That's nasty. But Stephanie fighting back. Stephanie gets thrown down though, trying to reverse it. But she rolls through with Beth Phoenix's leg in the Boston Crab. And she's got it locked in center of the ring. And she submits Beth. She goes to sudden death with Mercedes. And she's already beat her once. Beth reverses, rolls through, and a knee to the head of Stephanie. And a knee to the gut. Circling around Stephanie, springing off the bottom rope, shoulder block. Stays on her feet. Hits the ropes and springs Stephanie into a body slam, power slam. And now has got her arms butterflied and her head in the small of the back of Stephanie. Stephanie using the ropes to flip off, but gets caught in a nasty backbreaker. The top of the head of Beth into the back, lower back of Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie, though, with the knees to the backbreaker. Rolling her up and then a kick to the face. Thought she was going for the crossface, but a kick to the head and then the back of the head. Flips her over. Beth Phoenix flips over Stephanie. And a kick to the gut. What athleticism there by Beth Phoenix. But gets tripped up by Stephanie. Beth kicks her back into the corner, rushes in. Stephanie out of the way. Beth picking up Stephanie Vaquer. Flap jacking her into the corner on the other side, just throwing her for a distance. And then Alabama slam by Beth Phoenix. Butterflies the arm of Steph. And she's going to drive her down. No, Stephanie arm drag, able to avoid it. I thought she was dead meat there. German suplex. Butterflies the arm again, and this time she nails it. Drops her center of the ring, and Stephanie says yes, she submits. Beth Phoenix and Mercedes are going to sudden death. And this is the main event. Sudden death. You only get 3 counts with your shoulder on the mat. The whole match. Beth Phoenix, Mercedes, and Beth holding the ropes open for Mercedes. Mercedes flies in the ring. And we are underway. Beth Phoenix around. Mercedes tries to roll up Beth. Beth avoids it. And Mercedes again goes for the arm drag. Beth too strong. Mercedes flips over the back of Beth. Trips her down. Has the back of Beth. Beth hoists up Mercedes on her shoulder and slams her down. Big knee to the head to Mercedes. Picks her up, butterflies the arm between the ropes. Mercedes holding on to the ropes. Perhaps Beth was trying for that submission. Big kick to the head by Mercedes. Sends Beth Phoenix back into the corner. Tiger feint kick to the head of Beth. And then a frog splash. Nails it. Mercedes going for the pin. Only a no count. No counts on the board for either women. Big tope suicida. Tries to take Beth down to the mat. Beth reverses it, but Mercedes reverses that. Tilts a world head scissor into a Hurricane Rana off the back of Beth. Beth throws her away. Then a big lariat by Beth. Beth picks her up, suplex position. into the top turnbuckle post, brainbuster. Mercedes holding her back. She's been through a lot in this whole arena. Beth Phoenix flying headbutt, but no count. How many no counts will we see? I didn't think this would go down very long. But they're going to try to avoid any count at all costs. Tope Suicida off the top rope to Beth Phoenix trapped in the middle rope. And then a kick to the head of Beth, sending her back in. Springing off the middle rope. Lion Salt misses. And an elbow to Mercedes, wiping her out. Gorilla Press slam. And she nails it, slamming her down. Mercedes is up and a chop to the corner. How is she up? Kick to the head, sends Beth Phoenix back down. Beth rushes in, shoulder block to the corner, throws Mercedes away. And another, that was just a spear. Before she was ramming her head into the gut, but that's got to get painful after a while. And Beth, Gonzo bomb, up on the shoulder. Mercedes avoids it, neck breaker. Beth Phoenix holds on though, suplex, but Mercedes DDT. Can she get it? She's got the arm trap. She going for the submission, the guillotine, and she's got it locked in. Beth drops to a knee, but she's back up. And she drops down again. Throwing her that time, Mercedes lands on her feet. Beth rushes in, gets a drop kick to the head. Beth out on the apron. Mercedes throwing Beth Phoenix back in with a cutter. And on the back of Beth. Crossface. Beth gets to the ropes immediately. Drop kick. Sending Beth back in and a Meteora. Exhaustion's got to be setting in. Mercedes circles Beth. She going for the suplexes. Yes! Picking Beth up, but she escapes. And Beth waist lock. Gut wrench onto the knee. Sidewalk slam onto the knee. Turns her, flips her around. Gut first onto her knee. Enziguri. Mercedes avoids it, flips around the back, drop kick, misses, uppercut, and then sweeps the feet, does Beth Phoenix, but she misses that knee. And Mercedes, for the money makers, got her up. And yes, no, Beth Phoenix tossing Mercedes on the top rope. Gut first, goes for the knee, Mercedes avoids it. Ankles around the head, tilt-a-world head scissor by Mercedes. Drop kick, springing off the rope. Going for the frog splash, and she nails it. Mercedes, one count by Mercedes, and she goes to the top rope again. Flying to the top rope, Beth Phoenix flies up to meet her. Beth Phoenix choke slam off the top rope. My God, and Beth Phoenix gets a 2. Mercedes with 1, Beth Phoenix with 2. And Beth going for the pin, no! Mercedes has to do that every time now if she wants to survive. Beth Phoenix driving her down, Russian leg sweep goes for the pin. Mercedes with a no count. Beth Phoenix sidewalk slam. Mercedes counters her into the corner. Tiger feint kick. Beth Phoenix snatches her back into the ring on her shoulder, slams her back first into the corner. Mercedes off the back. Drop kick takes out Beth Phoenix. Goes for the drop kick. Beth avoids it. Goes for the clothesline. Mercedes ducks underneath. Beth gets tripped up. Mercedes going for the STF. Beth reverses it, throws her between the ropes in the corner. She goes flying out of the ring. Up on the apron. Reverses the clothesline. Neck breaker to Beth Phoenix, hanging her up on the top rope. Up to the top. Frog splash misses. Beth avoids the frog splash and a lariat takes out Mercedes. She just needs one more count. Mercedes avoids that at all costs. Beth picks her up on her shoulders. Mercedes gets kicked in the head. Another boot and a 0 count. That was close. I don't know how she's doing it. Not even a 1. Up on her shoulders, butterflied arms. Mercedes counters out. Rolls up Beth. Flipping over all of her weight on. And yes, she gets the 2. Mercedes Moné is your winner of Arena. She wins sudden death with 6 points on the board. Both her and Beth Phoenix tie in the end, but it's Mercedes that wins sudden death. Congratulations, Mercedes Moné and JJ Justice. And Jamal and Beth Phoenix, their respective second place. Thank you for joining us here tonight at Arena. We can't wait to see you next year for another one.